what happens, let's suppose this particular guy, okay, want to send any kind of data. This guy send any kind of data to this particular guy. So let's say this is a branch of his firewall and this is a head of his firewall. Okay. So when this guy,
Hang on one sec. Actually, we cannot see your cursor moving.
okay, I have now you are able to see.
No.
So what happens? So when let's suppose this guy having IP address is 2.2.2, I'm just taking example, and this is guy having IP address 1.1.1. Okay. So when this guy want to send any kind of data to this guy 2.2.2, okay, so that data reaches till firewall. After that, what happens? Firewall just encrypt that data. Okay. And when that data received by the another firewall, he just decrypt that data. Okay, because both are having the same keys, same session keys. So whatever he is using that session key for encryption, he will use same session key for decryption. So he can easily decrypt that data. Okay.
Okay. So I mean, is there any kind of mechanism the firewall is going to use to decrypt the?
No. Actually, we will define these parameters like if we are using the 3-dash encryption algorithm. Okay. So that algorithm is available already inside that code. Okay. So they will use that algorithm to do the encryption, and they will use the same algorithm for decryption by using the session keys. So that session key is known as a SKE ID of E. Okay, this particular key they will use. Okay, and this key they will create it after the Diffie-Hellman axiom. I have not included these keys and all when I have explained you that main move, because that time you guys definitely got confused because they have lots of calculation over there. Okay.
Okay.
So they will use actually this particular key for encryption, and they will use this particular key as KYED A. This key they use for hashing. Okay, you can just remember this thing, and also you don't need to remember this thing, but you just remember they have created a session keys. Okay, the session key like session key E, which they use for encryption, session like SKID A, which they use for decryption. They are having lots of communication, and also I'm not including these kind of stuffs here. Okay, now let me start my practical. So what happens? So let's suppose this is my LAN, which is 10.1.0/24. Okay, this is my head office LAN. Okay, and here I am having branch office LAN, which is 10.3.3.0/24. And this is my DMZ, which are in head office, which are having 10.2.2.0/24. Okay, so I will just, so for this guy, okay, this is the local subnet and this is the remote subnet, the other end. Okay, so now when these subnet guys want to send any kind of data to this subnet or this subnet, that data we want, like it will go via VPN tunnel. Okay, let's suppose if this particular guy want to send any kind of data to Google or to Facebook, that data will not going through this tunnel. Okay, that it directly go through your firewall till there in this way. Okay, when this guy send any kind of data to this particular subnet, then only that data go with the VPN tunnel. So the thing is, we always define that data. Okay, and the thing is, so for defining that data, we always use a ACLs. Okay, so that ACL is known as a crypto ACL, or it is also known as a proxy ID, proxy identity. Both are similar names. Sometimes I will use crypto ACL, sometimes I use proxy ID. It is also known as a like traffic selector. Some vendors use this terminology. Okay. So if you just remember proxy IDs, because proxy IDs everywhere aware about the proxy IDs. Okay. So now let me start my configuration. So first I will start my firewall. So what I'll do here, this particular interface of my firewall, which is outside interface having IP address 192.168.1.250, right? And on this interface, I will configure IP address which is 192.168.1.100. Okay. It is not necessary you will see like both the devices on same subnet, because I am having that kind of setup. That's why both firewall having the same subnet IP address. Okay, but in production you will see different IP address here and different subnet IP address here. Maybe here you are having 100.1.1.1, or maybe here you are having like 172.168, 1.20 like this. Okay, any IP address, and all these IP addresses are public IP, just remember. So the thing is, in step 1, okay, in step 1 I will configure my policies. Like these policies known as phase 1 policies. In step 2, I will configure ACL. Okay, that crypto ACL. In step 3, I will configure transform set. Transform set is a phase 2 policy. In step 4, I will configure one tunnel group. After that, in step 5, I will configure the crypto map. So what happens, whatever we have configured here, we will call these things on this particular crypto map. Okay, we will bind all these together in crypto map. So we are having around 5 steps over there. These steps also available on ASA. Okay, there is a one command. I will show you that command, how you can see that thing on ASA. So I got the first ASA. Let me also take the access of second ASA. So this ASA just booting. Okay, so let me start my configuration on first ASA. Okay, so first I will configure the phase 1 policy. So to configure phase 1 policy, we use this one, crypto IK version 1 policy. Here we can define any number. So I'll usually use 10. Okay, so now I am inside this crypto IK policy. Here if you press the question mark, so here we need to define authentication method, encryption method, group, hash, and lifetime. These 5 things. Okay, these 5 things is known as a haggle. So I'll use authentication is this here, encryption. If you press the question mark, so we are having these kind of encryption mechanism: 3 dash, AES, AES 192, AES 256, and dash. So I will go with the dash. Okay, now you want to define your hashing algorithm. And in a hashing you are having 2 algorithms, MD5 or SA. So you can use here SA. Now you can need to define lifetime. If you will not define lifetime, then it will take by default 24 hours. Okay, but just in back practice, you just configure that thing by manually. So 86400, it is in seconds. So mean 86400 means 24 hours. After you need to define the DEFI element group. So if you press the question mark, you are having these groups 1, 2, 5, 7. See, 7 is depreciated, means they have removed that 7. Okay. And apart from this, you are also having some other groups. Okay. But I think for that we need a license and all. So here I will go with the group 2. And I am done. So run crypto. Okay, this is the command to see what you have configured. So this thing we have configured. Okay, so what we will do always, when you configure anything here, you just make a copy of this configuration. Okay, in a notepad.
And Hemendra, I have a question.
Yeah.
So we need to follow the same order?
Yeah, we need.
Authentication.
No, for authentication, for configuration.
Yeah, configuration, we need to follow the same order, like authentication, encryption, hash, lifetime group.
No, you can follow any order to configure these things. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So we have done with the phase 1 policies. Okay. Now I will configure my access list. Access list. I'll give the name this access like VPN. Permit IP. Here I am having this subnet, right? 10.1.1.0 255.255.255.0, and in other end I am having this one 10.3.3.0 255.255.255.0. Okay, I also need to add one more statement, right, for DMZ network. 2.2. So then access list VPN. So we have created this particular ACL here. Okay. Now we will create phase 2 policies. Crypto IPsec. Here you can use IKE version 1. Then transform set. Give the name like tset. Any name you can choose here. Here you need to define your encryption protocol. Okay. So I will use here ESP 3- and ESP SHA. Okay, because we have defined the encryption method, and we also need to define the authentication method. SHMAC. Okay, so we have created this is also known as a phase 2 policy. Okay, now I will add tunnel group. Here you need to define the tunnel group name. So in name, basically you need to give the other end IP address. Okay, means other peer IP address, which is 192.168.1.100. After that, you need to take a type. Here we will select here IPsec L2L, means IPsec LAN to LAN. Enter. Now you just use same thing. Now here you can press the question mark. You will get these two options. Okay, so now you need to go inside the IPsec attribute. Here you need to define your pre-shared key. Okay, IKE version 1, and here you can define your pre-shared key. Pre-shared key is Cisco 123. I am using this. Okay, this pre-shared key must be same on both devices. Exit. Now you need to create a crypto map. Crypto map. Give the name IMAP. Here you need to define the order here 10. Because what happens sometimes if we are having two or more than two tunnels or more than one tunnels, okay, that time we also need to call these configuration in the same crypto because we only apply one crypto on an interface. Okay, so we will configure these things by giving some order to that place. After that, here we will use match, and here we will need to define the ACL, which is VPN. Now you just match. After you just use the keyword set and just select a peer. and here you need to define the other end IP address, which is 192.168.1.100, means site 2, site B IP address. Now here you just select set IK version 1 transform set, which is T set. So we have like configure our crypto map as well. Now we need to apply this crypto map on our interface. Crypto map IMAP. Here we need to call interface outside, because we are just applying that crypto on outside interface. Now we need to run this command crypto IK version 1 enable on outside. It will enable the IK version process. So let me use this command, show history. So this thing we have configured, right? Just copy the whole configuration and paste it on Notepad. Okay, because you also need to configure the same configuration on other end as well. Okay, so this is the best way to do that. I'll just divide these things in a specific category. Okay, so what you need to change? This policy must be same on both sides. You only need to change this ACL because it's a mirror image. Okay, just copy this particular payload, and after you can just paste this one here, because it's a mirror image total. Okay, so this is the ACL, like traffic going from 10.1.10.3.3.0 to 10.1.1, or traffic going from 10.3.0 to 10.2.2.0. Okay, that transform set also must be same on both sides. You can put any name must, like you can put any name. Okay, here as well. Tunnel group, here you need to define your site A IP address, which is 250. Here also 250, and preset key, here you need to define, which is Cisco 123. Here you need to define 250, and other things are same. Okay, so what, before doing this thing, let me, because I have taking this ASA as a fresh ASA only, so I need to configure the basic thing like routing and all. Conf hostname, branch office, firewall, FW. I will configure the IP address on interface, which is giga0/0. IP address is 192.168.1.100, 255.255.255.0. Now shutdown. DNF is outside. Security level 100. Sorry, 0. Now I will configure another interface which is inside. So giga0/1. No shut. IP address which is 10.3.3.250, 255, 255, 255.0. Move inside. Security level is 100. So interface IP. So we have configured that interfaces, right? And these are also came up. Let me also configure the default route outside 00. The default gateway which 192.168.1.1. Okay. And we also need to configure the NAT here, because to, if like inside users want to go towards the internet. So here we will configure the PAT object network. So here I will use any subnet is 10.3.0.0.255.255.255.0. I'm using any name. This is the name only. Okay, you can use here PAT as well. NAT inside going towards outside interface dynamic interface. Okay, so if I try to ping to my another firewall which is 10.1.250, I am able to ping means we need that public to like public IP reachability between them. Okay, both can able to ping first of all. This is the first requirement. Okay. Now we are having this particular configuration, so you can just copy this configuration. You just go there and just paste it. And we are done with the configuration for VPN. Okay. Write memory. And we are just saving our configuration. So the thing is, what kind of issue we will face when we configure that VPN tunnel first time? Okay, we will configure everything over there, but VPN tunnel is still not came up. We cannot ping, like this guy cannot able to reach to this guy. Because what happens, you know, we have configured here PAT, and we have also configured PAT here, right? So when this guy like 10.1.1.100 try to send any kind of data to 10.3.3.100, which is this one. Okay, so that data reaches to this firewall. So what happens on this firewall? We are having this PAT rule. Okay, so this firewall basically change this particular IP address into this IP address 192.168.1.250 by using some port numbers, because we are having PAT over there. Okay, so the thing is, we also now we will to like remove this to like, so solution for this problem, like we need to configure the NAT exempt concept. Okay, NAT exemption. Okay, NAT exempt, this particular thing we need to also configure, or it is also known as identity NAT. Okay, so now I will configure this thing. I need to configure that NAT exempt on this one and this one as well. How I will configure? Now you can just see here. So for that, I just created a network object. I give the name to LAN. Let me check if I am having any network object. So run object for inside network, then I will use the same one. So I am having here LAN 10.1.1.0, and I'm also having, I'm not having like anything for 10.dmz network. Okay, so what I'll do, object network, I will create one DMZ 10.2.2.0. Subnet is 10.2.2.0 255.255.255.0. Exit. We also need to create one more network for remote subnet. Object network, you can give like branch office LAN. Here give the subnet which is 10.3.3.0 255.255.255.0. We are having now these three subnets, right? So now we will add net. Now we will configure the NAT exemption rule here. Okay. So NAT inside going to outside. Okay. Source dynamic. Here we need to define here our object network. Okay, I'll give LAN 10.1.1.0. Here we will just call the same object as well here. Okay. Now we will need to give the destination. Static. Now we will use here branch office LAN, because we have configured this branch office LAN as well, right? You see here. Branch office LAN, then again branch office LAN, because we are just changing that only same IP, same destination only. Subnet cannot be used as mapped source in dynamic NAT. That is correct. Destination static, that is also correct. Yeah, actually, what I do, I have used some wrong keyword, I think. NAT inside, going towards outside. Source. We will use a static, I hope static. Then we need to define here our LAN, which is 10.1.1.0. Same LAN 10.1.1.0. Now destination static branch office LAN, then branch office LAN. Yeah. So we have added this particular. Let me also add my DMZ LAN. Okay. So I'll just modify this one for DMZ, because on DMZ I'm having here DMZ 10.2.2.0, right? Same thing here. DMZ 10.2.2.0. Warning pool, this overlap with the existing pool. So run object net. Okay, 10.2.2. This you're going to this LAN, and this guy also going to this one. Yeah, all are correct now. Okay, so now what I'll do, I'll just just save my changes over there. Now I log in into my second one, and I also need to configure these rules over there. NAT exemption. Okay, object network. Here I can use like LAN. Subnet is 10.3.3.0.255.255.255.0. That's it. Now I will create object network head office LAN. Subnet is 10.1.1.0.255.255.255.0. Head office DMZ. Now subnet is 10.2.2.0.255.255.255.0. After you can also, like, if you want to group these one, like, so you can also group them. Network group, type network. You can give like head office and you can give both name like object network HO LAN object network HODMZ. It will include both the network on same group. Okay, if you can run this command, you can get these details. So we are having this particular LAN for DMZ, and if you run this one object group here, you are having this particular group, right? Object group, which is kind of network. So object group, you can run here ID, and after it name like head office. Okay, so like this you can also see. So, but I am not getting the details of these networks. Why? Object group, let me check. Network, the name head office, network object. Yeah, then we need to use this particular object. Then here we can define that name HO LAN and HODMZ. Okay. This time you run this console and object group, you will get these network inside this. Right? So now how you can write the NAT rule here, NAT inside going towards outside, source, static. Okay. Here you need to define like branch office LAN, branch office LAN, destination static HO. So VLAN does not match an existing object group. So what happens? What is the name which I have used here? So run object. Yeah, I have used here LAN only. Okay, that is the main. What I'll do, I'll just remove the BO from there. I will use LAN only. Okay. So now we have write this. If you check your net rule, you are having this particular net rule, right? Manual net policies. And you're not able to see any kind of hit. So what I'll do this time, let me just configure the IP address on this particular router. After it, I will initiate the traffic. Come on. Enable conf host name is branch office. Then okay, I give any name. Interface of 0/0. Now set down IP address which is 10.3.3.100. 255.255.255.0. I will add a route here, IP route 0.0.0.0 and 10.3.3.250. I'll initiate a ping here, ping 10.1.1.100 with a repeat count of 20. Let's see if it is working or not. See, ping is working, and now this traffic is also going through VPN tunnel. How you can check? So if you go into your head office firewall, so here you need to run this console crypto ISA ASA. So the thing is, here you will see main mode active, means our phase 1 is completed. Okay. Same thing you will be also got on other firewall, which is branch office firewall. So crypto ISA ASA. Here you will see main mode active, means you have completed with the phase 1. Now you also need to check phase 2. So crypto IPsec SA. So by this command you will get the phase 2 here. You will see here packet encapsulated is 18, packet decapsulated is 18, right? That number always you will see it will be same on both the devices most of the time. These are the phase 2 policies, and this is also known as like SAs, or we can say SPD, SADB. And how you will verify your traffic going through this tunnel or not? So if you run that same command, every time that the number of these packets will be increased. Okay, how you can see, if you want to see this information only, you can use this particular command, include ENC. Okay, it will give you that information. So if I again try to ping, okay, so from this time also I will send around 20 packets. Okay, that's how I am going to send here 200 packets now. Ping is working. If you run this command here, you will see now packet count is become 218, means it is decrypting every packet or encrypting every packet. Okay, so means that traffic is going through a VPN tunnel. Let me also run here packet capture. This is giga 0/1. I hope, yeah. And I will show you how they will send that data and all. So it is still like finding that interface. Let's wait for some minute. Okay. So whatever they have ISA message is going on and all. Okay. So let me, what I'll do, I'll just remove both the tunnels. Okay. Because both they have set up that VPN tunnel, right? So let me clear these tunnel first. Clear. So you can use this one, clear ISA SA, clear crypto IPsec SA, and you can also use clear crypto ISACamp SA. If this time you run any command, so crypto ISACamp SA, you will not able to see anything because you have cleared. Let me also clear that the same thing on other end as well. After that I will initiate again. And clear crypto IPsec SA. So crypto IPsec SA, I am not able to see anything, right? Everything is removed. So what I'll do, let me initiate the traffic again. I will just initiate 20 packet. So you will see here one packet is dropped because the thing is that this packet is dropped due to because they have exchanged first 9 messages, right, to create that particular tunnel. So that time only you will see one drop here. Okay, because they that time they will start that negotiation and all. If you see in Wireshark, let me stop the Wireshark as well. Okay, so you are able to see these messages. These are the 6 messages, like message number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. These are the main mode messages. After we are having 3 messages in quick mode in phase 2. Okay, so they have first exchanged these messages and they just create a particular tunnel. After that, you will see this particular encapsulation means all the data is encapsulated inside this ESP header. Okay, if you see, you are not able to see anything inside that. You will see this information, right? And you are not able to find what they have sent it, because that inner header is encapsulated with the ESP. And if you see here, you are only able to see the public IP address, because these are public IP address for NAT's lab only. Okay. means you are able to see only the outside interface IP address, and you are not able to find anything because everything is encapsulated inside this particular tunnel. Okay, and I have also included one thing, right? Message number 1, 2, 3, and 4. These messages always go in a clear text, right? But message number 5 and 6 go in a encrypted and hashed way, right? So let me see what kind of content they are having in message number first. So by seeing this thing, you get these details. So let me open a security association parameter. You will get these details. I want to show you that policies and all, okay? So this is for fragmentation. This is the ID and all. Let me check. So here you will see that policy and all, like what we have configured in phase 1. So it is having that security assistant payload over there. So we are using here version 1. These are some flags. It will use UDP port number 500 if you see. But I'm not able to see these encryption algorithm and all. What kind of like they will exist on these place only. Yeah, you will able to see these things here. We have used this encryption algo which is 3 dash, right? Hashing is SA. Authentication method is preset key. Lifetime is this one 86400, right? So they have exchanged this payload also here, right? They are exchanging here phase 1 policies. Okay. You can check in this place as well. You will get this same detail. Encryption algo, hashing method, right? Group, like we are using group 2. So in group 2, basically, they are having around 1024 bit of keys. Okay. We are authentication preset key. Lifetime is this one 86400. So these are the phase 1 policy. Okay. If you check here in message number 4 and 3 and 4, you will see they will exchange some nonce value and all. Okay. Hashing address and port numbers payload because they will detect the net and all. That's why they have exchanged that parameter. And after that, if you try to open this last message, message number 6, you are not able to see anything because everything is decrypted. Okay. This is the Ipsec message, and you are not able to see anything because everything go in a decrypted mode only. Okay, data is encrypted. You will see here bit is 1 means encrypted. Okay. So this is the these are the some messages exchange and all. After that, when they will complete, because in quick mode you are not able to see any kind of exchange in phase 2 or that ACL and all, because they will also exchange these things. But the thing is, everything is going on a decrypted way, so you are not able to find anything. Okay. And after that, everything is encapsulated inside ESP header, means you are not able to find who is the private IP address and all. Nothing is there. Okay, you are only able to see the public IP address of these firewalls. By using these IP, we have configured that VPN. Okay, nothing else. So this is the particular exchange on a VPN. Okay, that Ipsec site-to-site VPN. And this is the way how we will configure. And you always just follow this particular way which I have used here. Copy everything and paste one, and just paste, and I will use the same configuration on both ends. But the thing is, I only need to modify this ACL, and I need to modify this tunnel group and set PR. That's it. Everything is same on both places otherwise. Okay, so this is the guys configuration of Ipsec site-to-site VPN on between two ASA firewalls. Okay, so if you have any doubt with the configuration and all. So before going into that, let me also show you one more thing here. So we are having one inbuilt command, which is VPN Setup. Yeah, not this one actually. I'll forget the command. So VPN. This is the load balancing. So setup, I think. Yeah, this is the command VPN setup. So if you want to configure the IP, that remote, that IPsec, like site-to-site VPN, so you just need to select this one, site-to-site VPN. You will get all the steps. Yeah, you just need to select the steps. Okay, so these are the steps. First, you need to configure the IP address on interfaces if firewall is new. After that, you need to configure phase 1 policies. Now you need to configure transform set, ACL, tunnel group, and crypto map. And after that, we just apply this particular, we just enable this crypto map on a interface. So you can also get these steps, how to configure that VPN on a firewall. They are having that command to show you all the steps. Okay. Now you can guys ask any question if you are having with this.
Yeah, it's clear.
For all. When you guys do the practicals, not one time, you need to configure the same thing around 10 times, okay? Then only you are able to remember all these commands, okay? Because I have done that thing like 100 times, so I am not having any issue with the configuration. I know all the steps, how I can configure, okay? So we have configured.
Yeah, okay, got it.
Yeah, so we have configured VPN between that ASA. Now let me introduce here Palo Alto. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll just stop this firewall. I'll also stop this particular router, and I also need to stop this guy because Palo Alto also needed lots of RAM. Let me see if it will work. So I will show you the now VPN between Palo Alto and ASA. Just wait, it is coming, so it will take some time. So meanwhile, if you have any questions, you can put. Yeah, it will come a PH Cisco firewall. Now let me try to open this particular firewall as well, okay? HTTPS 192.168.1.110 connects diffused by this firewall. It is, I think, starting that processes in a background. Let's wait for 1-2 minutes. So what I am trying to do here, I am having ASA firewall here, right? This firewall have a connectivity with my router, and here I am having Palo Alto firewall. Here I am having LAN. Here also I am having LAN, okay? But the thing is, what is the problem which I am having here? My ASA also having IP address which is 192.168.250, right? And this guy also having that same IP address. What I'll do, I'll just change the IP address of my ASA firewall. So I will use here 240 in place of 250. Okay. After we will configure the VPN tunnel between ASA and Palo Alto. So let me just go to my ASA. Show interface IPv4. If I show the configuration, I'm having that same IP address, right? Interface giga0/1 IP address 240 and 255.255.255.0. Let me check if I'm having any NAT statement with this. Okay, I'm not having any issue now. Okay, now we will see the VPN configuration between this LAN and this LAN. Okay. Admin. I will log in here. Now you also see, like, now what we are having here. In this ASA, we are having one IPsec tunnel between these two ASAs, right? Now we are going to one IPsec tunnel between these ASA and Palo Alto. Okay. So how you will do the configuration on Palo Alto for configuring that VPN tunnel between this ASA and Palo Alto? We can also reuse some policies over there which we have configured on this particular ASA. Okay. Guys, I need at least 45 minutes to do that practical. Okay. If you are having anything, you can let me know. It's taking lots of time because I'm running lots of VMs over there. My CPU is very high, right? 94%. RAM is also 89. That's why it is taking lots of time. Google Chrome is also using that much RAM. What can I do here? I will shift to in this particular window, so it will close all the applications which I have running over there. Let me open here my eVNC and the Palo Alto. Admin, password I think Eve, UNL. Now let me log in into my Palo Alto. Admin and admin. Because do you know what is this window? Actually, I forget the name for this one. Incognito. If you are in incognito window, that time actually that Google Chrome is use lots of applications in background. Okay, if you go into that particular window, that time it will stop all these background applications. Okay, what you want to run, only these things you will be able to see here. So I will show you the steps as well on this one. Okay, how you can configure that IPsec VPN. So first of all, you always go to in network. Okay, and I'll just, what I'll do, I'll need to also change this particular IP because I am having that same IP range on ASA side as well. So what I'll do, I'll just put here 10.4.250, this particular subnet. And I will not use DMZ, I will use that configuration between inside and inside only. Okay. After it, what you need to do, you need to just go to one internal interface, and here you need to add one tunnel interface. Give that tunnel like any number 10. Virtual router, give the default router, and security zone. You need to just create one new security zone. Give this security zone name as VPN zone. Okay. After this, click OK. Configure one IP address. It is optional. Okay. If you want to configure, then configure. If you don't, you don't. So I just configure this IP address as well. I'll use here 10.10.10.1. So this is the first step. We will configure one tunnel and create one tunnel interface and one VPN zone. Okay. After that, in that same network, we will go into iCrypto here. Here we will need to add our phase 1 policies. Okay. I can give that name is phase 01. So I will use here def element group 2. Here I will use encryption method is DES. Okay. And authentication is MD5. Here I will use lifetime, which is I will give 24 hours. Default is 8, you can give 24 hours. Okay. And that's it. We are done with the configuration of phase 1 policies. Now you just go to IPsec crypto. Here you need to define your phase 2 policies. So this is equivalent to transform set. Okay. Here you can give like this name, phase 2. Protocol you can select. So I will select ESP. Encryption, I will use DES. And here I will use MD5. Okay. So if you want to enable the no PFS, I will go with the no PFS. Okay. And we are done with the phase 2 policy. Now you need to go to an iGateway here. Add iGateway. You can give the name like PA ASA. Means we are configuring this VPN between Palo Alto firewall and ASA firewall. Here you need to define your mode. So here we are using I version 1 only. Okay. IPsec, here we need to define our outside interface. Ethernet 1. Here we need to define the IP address of our outside interface. So other peer is static. Here we need to give the other peer IP address, which is IP address of our other end ASA, which is 192.168.1.240, because we have just now changed, right? Here we need to define preset key. So this time I will use preset key, which is admin123. Okay. You are not able to see, but I am typing here admin123 only. You don't need to define anything here. Just go to an advanced mode here. Exchange mode, you can just select here main mode. Here you need to call your phase 1 policies, which is phase 10. Okay. After that, just click on OK. Now you need to go to in your IPsec tunnel configuration. This is equivalent to, you can say, crypto map. Give any name like PA and ASA. Here we will call our tunnel interface, tunnel 10. So we will use here auto key. Here we need to define the IP address. So address type is IP4 and I gateway which is PASA. So this gateway we are calling here now, okay? And here we need to call our phase 2 policies. You can also click on advanced options. If you want to configure these options, you can. Otherwise, leave it default. These are the proxy IDs, means here you will define your interesting traffic. Like in ASA, we have configured at crypto ACLs, right? So here we are having this thing. So we can give like crypto ACL 1. Local subnet is 10.3.3.0. Remote subnet is 10.1.1.0. You can give the name like ACL. Protocol is any, just click on OK here. You can add if you are having more subnet, okay? I am just going with that one subnet only. Okay. So we have done with the configuration. Now what we need to do? We need to go to in our virtual router. Here we need to define one route, okay? We are just not going to add. We are just going to in default virtual router. Static routes. And I will add here one route, okay? I can give this name like VPN. Destination is 10.1.1.0/24 tunnel 10. Next hop is none because we are not having any next hop IP. Okay. Now we will go in our policies and here we need to add our policies. I'll just add one rule here. I'll give the name VPN rule. Sources. Here we will define inside and VPN. Address is any. In destination, we will define inside and VPN. And also we need to call here outside because we are allowing the bidirectional traffic and traffic from any zone. Like anybody can send any kind of traffic from VPN to inside or inside to VPN. So let me remove this outside. Outside I don't need to add here. Okay. Means inside guy can send the traffic to the VPN zone or VPN zone can also send the traffic towards the inside zone. Any, I'll just go there and enable the log at the session and just action is allowed. Okay. I'll just put this rule above to all these rules in first position. Okay, now I'll just commit my changes. Okay, so that commit is going on. So let me do some changes with my adapters because I want to send that traffic through this adapter. I need to select a VPN 4 because I have configured this range IP address 10.4.4 in my inside interface, right? If you see in VPN here, go to interfaces, Ethernet. So we have changed that IP address, right? We have given this IP 10.4.4.250. So now what we need to do on ASA, we also need to configure the same thing on ASA. So what I'll do, I will use the same configuration, okay? So because I have run that history command, so let me copy the same thing from there. Just pay it on one notepad and just do some editing over there. Okay, so we need to change the policy number. So this time I will use 20. Encryption method we are using is dash, right? Or hashing is MD5. Lifetime is this. These are the same thing. Let me also delete this particular thing. This particular thing. I need to define one a crypto ACL only. So I will use this time like I will change the name of this ACL. I will use here 10 VPN 10. Okay, traffic going from this subnet to 4.4.0 subnet because we are having this particular LAN on our Palo Alto now. Here we are using dash and we are using MD5, right? Need to change the IP address of this guy, which is 250. 250. Here we need to change the reset key, which is admin 123. We need to change this one. Here I will use the 20 because we always, if we are going to form this another tunnel, that time we need to change this particular sequence number. Okay, 20 set peer is 250, transform set is. So what I'll do, I need to also modify. Let's suppose I'll give tset 10. So I will need to give the same name here, tset 10. That is okay because we have already enabled, so we don't need to enable again and again this one. Okay, now if we use this particular thing, it will work. Phase 1 policy, this one. Yeah, tunnel is also there. Yeah, we are good to go with this only. Only we need to change the NAT statement. Okay, so I will add that NAT statement manually. What I'll do this time, I'll just go to this particular place. The crypto map entry is incomplete. So let me check what kind of so run crypto map. Match address, set peer, set I version 1, transform set tset, crypto map interface outside. 3 things we are having here. Yeah, we are having everything is fine over there. Okay, so crypto map, so run NAT. So let me also add one NAT statement over there. Okay, so what I'll use this time, I'll just create one object network. I will give this PLN. Subnet is 10.4.4.0 255.255.255.0 NAT inside going towards outside source static LAN, which is 10.1.1.0 Now I will copy that again, the same thing here again. Let's say we are having 10.1.1.0 and also having 10.1.1.0. Okay. Now destination static. Here we will get PA LAN. Sorry, PA LAN. So run NAT. You will see we are having this particular NAT rule as well. Inside proxy source static, this one and PLN. Okay. Now what I'll do, so let me just go to an Ipsec here. What I'll do, I'll just initiate a ping. Okay. I will initiate ping from this particular place. These are the actually configuration only, because we have already completed the theoretical part, right? So you only need to know configuration, and when you do these kind of practicals in your laptop, that time only you will get the idea for this configuration. Okay. So I have just initiated the ping from here. Ping is not working, but let me see if my BP internal is came up or not. So crypto ASA camp ऐसे. See, my BP internal is came up. Okay. So crypto IPsec ऐसे, and I'm not having IPsec ऐसे, means this is between this particular, yeah. So means my page is stuck in, yeah, it is breaking every time. What I'll do, let me see the configuration. I'll just go to in Palo Alto, refresh here. If I'll go to in monitor, I will get some log details, okay, regarding that. phase 1 is deleted, as say this one. Negotiation phase 1 delete, negotiation phase 1 delete, yeah. So it is like deleting that phase 1. What will be the cause here? Let me check. What I'll do, I'll just do some changes in that particular rule. Let me add here outside interface. One 192.168.1.250 IP is fine. VPN zone is also fine. We are not having any issue here. So tunnel is not came up yet. Because if that tunnel came up, you will see it there here basically with that key, which is like green. This become like a status become green that time. Let me see if I can get something in gateways. Gateway is fine, not having any issue. Let me admin 123 admin 123 LIP peer is static 192.168.102.40. So interface IP brief 192.168.102.40 IP is correct. Ping 192.168.102.50. Ping is working perfectly. Let's wait for that commit will change, otherwise we will see the debugging. Okay, how we can see the debugging message and all if we got any kind of issue. Warning, VPN rules, so shadow rule DNS ping VPN shadow rule this one. Okay, no worries. So run crypto. While running this command you can see the details. VPN tunnel. Okay, match address VPN 10, set peer this one 20, set I version 1, transform set T set -10. I just want to check my policies, what kind of policy I am having. Dash MD5 group 2 lifetime authentication is very shared key. I'm having policies are correct over there. So run crypto IPsec ESP dash ESP MD5 patchmark, that is also correct. Crypto 1 second paise. Let me just generate the ping again, okay, and we will see what is the issue here. Show crypto map. So crypto 5 second paise. So we are having main mode is active. IPsec paise. I don't know why it is breaking that tunnel somehow. Debug crypto 1 second. I version 1. Okay, so I have enabled the debugger. Let me see what is the issue now. Login console 7. Login error. Because we will see lots of login message over there. See, we have received lots of messages here. Error, it is like I quick mode initiator FSM error history. Message number 1. Quick mode. It is not able to set that quick mode properly. It is removing that peer. I detecting as is remote proxy, this one. local proxy 10.1.1.0. That is correct. I think proxy not a problem. And all. So access. Let me check the AC here. Permit IP 10.1.1.0 to 10.4.4.0. That is nice. So NAT. So what happens? Sometimes you will face the issue with the NAT. Okay. So what I'll do? Let me just copy all these rules. Because you will not face this issue in real time. We are having that particular issue on this when we are running that particular thing on a. So we actually need to change the order sometime on with the NAT. Just taking the default order only. I don't know. The routing is not a problem here. I need to disable the login first. Okay. That is fine. So run route. Route is also fine. Shit, now what is the issue here? Okay guys, so what I'll do, I'll just stop that class here and I will try to troubleshoot that issue at my end. Okay, maybe I need to check, like maybe sometime what happens, traffic is leaking because I'm using these BMs everywhere, right? So there is a lots of leakage also with that traffic.